Welcome to Manhwa Recaps, spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. The manhwa starts off with the starry sky above some kind of palace. Through the moonlight we see a man laying on a table, as another man looks down at him. He says to look at him, asking if this is how he greets his brother after 10 years, and pats his head. We hear some people on the other side of the door, saying they should check if he is dead. They barge into the room with their weapons in hand and are surprised to see the man, asking him who he is. He starts to click his tongue, asking why they are entering the successor's room so openly. He touches his brother's face, saying that he warned him that a person in power should not be soft to his subordinates, or they will think they are better than him. The intruders point their weapons at him, saying that he needs to reveal his identity. He turns, saying the same to them as they are dirtying the room. He mind controls the door closed. His eyes begin to glow blue as a lightning aura emanates from his palm. He stretches it outwards and calls forth the lightning god, striking down the intruders. All but one of them get Thanos snapped, and he screams as when he looks over the man is nowhere to be found. Then he feels an intense pain around his throat as he begins to use Jedi mind tricks to lift the man. He asks who ordered for them to kill his brother, and the intruder says that he will never answer. He says he is aware, but he wasn't going to spare him if that is what he assumed. The intruder asks him who he is, and he says that he is the older brother of the man they murdered. The man is surprised, saying that there is no way as Hyuk Mujo's first son should be dead. The brother cuts him off and starts zapping the hell out of him, completely charring him, leaving nothing but ashes behind. He says that they should have let him continue to live as a dead person. His eyes are full of determination as he looks up at the moonlight, saying that the corrupt world is the reason he is here. Then we get some world building about and learn that 20 years ago the great Orthodox and Unorthodox war divided all martial artists into two sides. The war ended with the victory of the demonic cult leader Hyuk Mujo, which led to the era of the demonic cult's ruling. The Orthodox faction hid themselves in the shadows, waiting for a chance to retaliate, while the Unorthodox faction was busy trying to completely take over the world. Enough world building as it jumps to busy city, and we see some guys all rubbernecking as a woman walks by them, and everybody is pogging out of their gourds. As the woman says that it should be around here somewhere. She has a distinct green earring. Something catches her attention and she turns towards a dumpling shop, saying that she finally found it. She quickly waddles over, asking if this is the true dumpling's main location. The guy starts to yap and she says she doesn't care, she just wants a plate. Then he tells her that he is sorry, but they are all out. She turns into stone from complete shock. She starts to beg, saying that just one is enough. He tells her they don't have any left, as the customer that just left bought them all. She recalls the man holding the dumplings, and the owner suggests that maybe he will sell her one. She starts to haul absolute cheeks, making the man's pants drop because he got caught off guard, and he says that she is one beautiful lady. But it is not a good thing to stand out so much in this world. It cuts to the brother and we hear the woman calling out for him. She asks why he is so fast, suggesting that he is using some kind of footwork. As she is gassed out, he asks her what she needs. Then she points to his bag of dumplings, asking if they are true dumplings. He says he's not sure what she means, and then she says that they are the best dumplings in the entirety of Zhongyuan. He asks if that's so, and she keeps yapping about how she is a great dumpling lover. He glares at her, saying to get to the point. She asks him for just one dumpling, saying that she'll pay double or even quadruple. He might not understand, but her entire life stream has been to eat the dumplings. While she's talking, he spots a man called the Lone Fox behind her. He quickly leaps into an alley and she keeps talking, so he pulls her in too. Her heart starts to beat as she looks at him through a Snapchat filter, and her face begins to go flush. She punches him to turn off the filter. The brother is surprised that he let her hit him, and she quickly apologizes. Then he tells her to be quiet. He peers around the corner, saying he's surprised the Lone Fox was still alive. She looks up at him and starts to catch a case of feelings. The brother turns, creating a lightning aura, and instantly fades out. She is confused, looking around, asking where he went, and then falls while crying about her dumplings. It jumps to an eagle soaring in the sky as a man is asking the brother if they really have to do this, saying that this kind of revenge will catch a ton of attention, and the moment his identity is revealed everybody will be after him. He asks if the man is scared, and then the smooth-brained one starts to laugh. The brother looks off towards the city, saying that his subordinate Huanya is greatly misunderstanding something, as this is going to be dangerous regardless. Huanya apologizes, saying that he should have watched his mouth. The brother tells him to track down an organization called Moonwave. Huanya repeats the name and the smooth-brained one says that they will find and kill them. Annoyed, the brother calls him a dumb pig, then puts his fingers to his lips and whistles, calling for his eagle, who we learn is named Dark Wind. and he tells it to help his subordinates, and that it's time for them to go. The next day at an inn we see the woman from earlier changing. She takes off her robe and the rest of her clothes. She starts to bandage her chest, and starts to pull a whole ass Mulan. She says that she will begin her mission now. We get some more lore and learn about the Illusion Academy, an elite academy constructed by the demonic cult after the Great War. It was created in order to take in talented individuals from the Orthodox side. Every 3 years they take in new students. But the support for Orthodox martial artists has been increasing. Unlike in the early years, the academy became a place where the Orthodox could change their identities into demonic cult members. We see a giant line as the woman from earlier, Bai Sol, starts to tell the man who she is, what weapon she uses, and that she is indeed a man. The man glares at her. She starts to nervously sweat, saying that she may look feminine, but she is a man. The dude quickly asks if she is trying to flex that she is good looking. He tells her that this is not an audition for actors, and a martial artist only needs to be good at martial arts. And then he sighs, saying that it's dumb to bring up appearances. Sol apologizes, saying that she was just talking nonsense. And she finally steps in. She looks over to the side, seeing a group of people gathering, and she wonders what is going on, but decides that it is in her best interest to blend in. She is surprised as she spots the brother, calling him Dumpling, and she wonders why they had to be in the same squad. She quickly hides her face, wondering what to do, saying that he might recognize her and tell everybody that he is a woman. Dumpling calls out to her, and she gasps as she looks over at him, and begins to nervously sweat, saying that she is screwed. We get a flashback to earlier when Dumpling says that it smells rotten, but he has no choice but to step in if he wants to fix it. As he waits in line, he says he did not expect so many losers to be here. And then he looks over to the other line, and spots Sol, saying that it looks like a single day in her life, but he thinks she is a woman. We finally learn that Dumpling's real name is Hyuk Ryanhui, and he says that he can use various things as weapons. The man gets annoyed, saying that he needs to get himself together, but he is caught off guard by his appearance, wondering what is going on with all the hot guys coming in today. I do not know why he worded it this way. And then Ryanhui starts to walk in. He hears people yelling, and goes over, blending in with a crowd. But while he was standing there, he had a feeling that somebody was watching him, and he glances over to see Sol hiding, and recognizes him from earlier, not at the dumpling area, but in line. So he walks over and calls out to him, asking why Sol keeps looking at him. She realizes that he doesn't recognize her, and laughs, saying that she's from the country, so everything is new. He grabs onto her shoulder, asking what kind of excuse that is. But his hand begins to shift as she deflects it with some kind of aura. Ryanhui is surprised, asking why someone so skilled would come to spy on him. Then he starts to smell something from her, and recalls the scent from the dumpling incident, and calls her a dumpling beggar. She starts to get annoyed, saying that she is a dumpling lover, and to get his shit together. They start to bicker with one another, and then it jumps to people absolutely pogging out at the Golden China buffet. We see Ryanhui sitting in the corner alone, and Sol joins him, asking how he's meant to be a man if he doesn't eat. She tries feeding him, saying that she picked out a lot of tasty dishes. She bows, saying that she will serve him as her senior, and he can tell her to do anything, as she will be his hands and feet. He wishes she would just stop talking, as she is spraying food everywhere. She says in return, and looks to her left, and then her right, and makes a shushing sound. He understands that she is trying to become his subordinate, in return for him hiding her identity. She laughs, saying at least he is smart. He sighs, saying that he doesn't want it. She starts to angrily ask why not, saying that he should not be losing anything from it, and he tells her he just does not want to get involved with others. She starts absolutely eating everything on the plate, including the bones, telling him to wait. While he is emptying his plate out, and she is waddling over, he looks up at his eagle. She is confused at what he is staring at, and then he hands her his plate, saying he will leave it to her. Surprised, she asks if he is accepting her offer, but he instantly vanishes again. We see him outside, as he asks Hwanya for a report, and Hwanya tells him that they have found the moon wave. He's surprised it was so fast. Ryanhui asks how they found them so quickly. Hwanya tells him they only had to beat up a few people to get the information out of them. The slow one raises his fist proudly, saying that he did not kill. Hwanya quickly changes the subject, asking why he didn't have him join him for the academy infiltration, since he will surely come across some problems. It would be better to have him with him. Ryanhui sighs, saying that he sounds just like her. Hwanya asks who. Ryanhui says that it was just someone he met recently. Then tells Hwanya that if he joins him then Dalki would have to stand out by himself. Dalki stomps his feet, saying, "Dalki fine on own," and then starts to flex, saying that he is stronger than Huanya. Huanya turns into a monkey and starts howling at him. Huanya quickly turns back into a human, asking if the person he met is trustworthy, saying that there is a chance that he has been approached on purpose. Ryan Hui thinks about it and says even if that's the case, it would only be wise that he can keep them close. We see some bees having a gang war with flowers as a man is asking all of the new students if they enjoyed their meal. It is the freak from earlier, and he says that the academy is famous for food, but not many people will earn the privilege of tasting it again. Now they will be starting the entrance exams, and those who fail will be kicked out immediately. And he asks who wants to go first. His face is a little pear-shaped. Everybody starts to think about how going first is bad, but Sol says that she will take it first and tell him how it's done. Ryan Hui asks if she is that confident. She says of course, as she came all this way. He tells her even if she passes, she will not be able to give him information, as they are going to separate those who have passed from those who are waiting. And we see Nappa from Dragon Ball Z standing guard. Ryan Hui says it's only natural that they would avoid cheating. One of the bees from the gang war gets lost and Sol spots it and starts to shoo it away. Ryan Hui notices something, but Sol starts to feel herself too much, saying that the bee must think she is a flower and even her disguise can't hide her beauty. People start to talk about the entrance exam, asking if it is hard. And the man from earlier, we will call him Pear for now, says that he will only find out if he takes it. The student then asks him what kind of test it is, and Pear says that it is quite simple. They just need to go in and out of the storage room with something. The student asks what they need to bring exactly, and Pear gets annoyed, saying that he is asking too many questions, then throws him forward towards Nappa, saying that he will be going first. Sol says they are starting and asks Ryan Hui what he thinks the man will come out with. Ryan Hui says who knows and they should just watch. The man quickly enters the storeroom and is greeted with complete darkness as he cannot see anything in front of him. Nappa locks him inside and turns towards Pear, saying he reminds him of her, then uses his double-ended mace to slam the door, causing the man inside to be scared. He repeats this and we see bees beginning to flow out from inside of the room. The man can quickly hear them all buzzing above him, and looks so excited and then lets out a scream of pure joy. All the other contestants are surprised. Ryan Hui says that the storage must be full of bees, and Sol says that means they must avoid them, but wonders what they have to bring out. Nappa quickly lifts the door as the student begins to run out. He plops to the ground and Pear asks him what he took. He says he grabbed something so valuable that the bees are guarding it and shows him a brick of honey. He starts to laugh, saying that it is a bee's most precious treasure. Sol and Ryan Hui both watch this and she asks if they have to bring out honey, saying it seems too easy. Ryan Hui says he does not think so. As we see, Pear instantly fails the guy. The balloon animal asks why and Sol says that he was right. Ryan Hui says it's not a test to hire beekeepers and that her offer to be his subordinate is only viable if she can pass the exam, and he tells her to follow him. Pear asks who is going next and he says he will be going, and Sol raises her hand, saying she will be next. Pear sighs, asking if Ryan Hui understands he will be looking like the balloon animal, who is speaking enchantment table and busting out a move. Ryan Hui says he's not here to talk and Pear can't wait to see their faces all bloated. The door opens and he goes in. Nappa quickly locks the door. Sol realizes that he must know something about the exam as he went in with too much confidence. The bees begin to surround him, and as they fly towards him he begins to release his lightning aura using the divine wind armor. He stretches his hand outwards and the bees can't even get close to him as he begins to slowly walk through the storage room. Since he cannot see, he closes his eyes, then opens them after imbuing them with aura. He says there is nothing here other than the beehives. He spots one of the bees with purple eyes and laughs, saying he found it. Outside, everybody watches in anticipation. Even Jinbei is here. Nappa opens the door, and everybody is speechless as they see that Ryan Hui is completely fine. Pear asks him what he got. Ryan Hui sticks his hand out, and Pear sighs, saying that it's a pass. People start to go crazy, and he tells Sol that it is her time to go in. She readies herself and then enters, saying that she needs to find something in here and that it is not honey. But there are only beehives inside of the room, and it can't be that she needs to fight the bees. Then she remembers that this is the Illusion Academy, which focuses on spying, infiltration, and assassination, the most important roles of the unorthodox faction, and that an unorthodox martial artist needs to get past countless eyes and be able to differentiate between what is fake and what is real. She starts to look at all of the bees and then spots one in particular, saying that that bee is different. But she can't get to it without getting stung. She clenches her fist, saying that she has no choice but to be faster than the bees. She quickly leaps forward, going full jets. On the outside, Everybody waits in anticipation until she bursts through the door and does a full somersault roll in front of Pear. She manages to catch her balance and stretches her hand out. Pear is surprised that she is also uninjured, and she shows him the singular B, which has the word pass written on its back. Pear looks down at it and gives her the okay to go next. He looks over at them, asking how this can be, saying that this squad is made up of people they thought would fail, but 2 have already passed, and it had to be the 2 that he thought were good looking. Sol shoots Ryan Hui finger guns, saying that he accepted her offer, right? He wonders why she is so desperate to be his subordinate, and that it is kind of suspicious. Then they hear screams and look over to see a man being failed. She says that she guesses it is not easy, as she barely made it too. Ryan Hui confidently says that nobody else is going to pass, as the B she found was the last one to have pass written on its back. He checked, and there are a total of 10 pass Bs. She is surprised that he counted them, and he says that other than the one he brought out, he killed 8 of the Bs. She calls him cruel, and he says that she killed 1 too. She says she knocked it out since all lives are precious, and this is why he dislikes the Orthodox faction. He says this is why nobody else will pass. She quickly asks him why he did this. He says that he wanted to test her skills, as he does not want to take in a weakling as a subordinate. She warns him that if a subordinate is too strong, they might not be loyal to him. He smirks, saying that he's not too sure about that. It cuts to Hwanya and Dalki, as Dalki is absolutely munching. Hwanya asks him if he is bored of eating, and in broken English, Dalki says, "Hwanya little, eat more and weak." Hwanya points out that just because he is bigger does not mean he is stronger and that he uses his head, as not everything can be resolved with brute force. Dalki laughs, and Hwanya starts to get annoyed, asking what's so funny. Dalki says, "Hwanya smart, I not know." Hwanya gets offended and then notices people coming down the stairs, saying that they are finally leaving. He tells Dalki it is time to lock in, as it is the person that Ryan Hui mentioned. They quickly get up from their table and start to follow the men outside. They keep a good distance away from them and find what Hwanya assumes is their base. They sneak in, only to be surprised by the fact that they are quickly surrounded by pretty much everybody in the area. I don't know how they plan to sneak Dalki's big ass in there. The man they were following says that he knew they were tailing him a while ago, and to follow them here was foolish, as they purposely led them here. Dalki says, "Hwanya stupid." The man they followed sends out one of his men, saying that they are due for a beating. The man rears his fist back, asking Dalki if he does not understand who they are. But Dalki instantly clocks him in the face, launching his body into the air. After he plops to the ground, everybody is surprised. Hwanya says that leading them here was their biggest mistake. The man is surprised, but Hwanya says they let him do this. Hwanya quickly pulls out some poisoned needles and yeets them towards the man, but one of his guards says, "Get down, Mr. President," and eats them. The man is surprised as he sees that it wasn't just him, but now all of his men have been defeated. He starts to panic, asking who sent them, and Hwanya asks him why he wants to know since he is going to be dead soon anyways. Back at the academy, we see plates being stacked atop one another as Sol sighs, saying that was a great meal. Ryan Hui asks if she is the female Matt Stoney, and she says that she couldn't eat her lunch properly because of him. While everything else is good, the dumplings are low-key ass. Then she asks him if he enjoyed the true dumplings. He tells her that he's not sure since he didn't eat them. Annoyed, she jumps up, asking why he ordered them in the first place, and he tells her he just wanted to. She can't believe that he insulted dumplings like this. Then someone yells out to them, saying that he's never seen their faces before, so they must be new here, and that where they are sitting is for the seniors. Sol wonders if they are being territorial. The twins look back at her, asking why she is staring at them. She quickly apologizes, saying that she did not know as it was her first day here. The twins laugh, saying that she is polite, asking where they are from. She says that she is from the Orthodox faction, which seems to annoy him. But then she quickly points out that Ryan Hui is from the demonic cult, and they still are making an annoyed face. Sol says that she understands what their gaze means and it's not just them. Everybody else looks as if they smelled something disgusting. They are still annoyed by the fact that she is from the Orthodox faction. He is surprised they still exist and they say that she should give up on remaining in the Orthodox faction. We see some of the Orthodox members holding in their anger while everybody else laughs. One of the twins pours water all over Sol, saying that this is a custom for those of the Orthodox faction, and he will wash her every day like this. As the water pours off of her face, the twin continues saying that as her senior, he will make sure that it's done properly and there's no need to thank them. It quickly starts to steam, and she starts to recall her master. Her eyes glow red as she says that she can't hold it back anymore. But before she starts clapping back, the kettle is thrown through the air and lands on the floor, and Ryan Hui yells at them, saying that the water is splashing on him. The twins look at him, annoyed, asking if he is talking to them. He says, "Who else would I be talking to?" One of the twins gets annoyed and leaps at him, asking how dare he. Ryan Hui kicks him in the shin, causing him to fall to his knees. Then he raises his foot into the air, stomping on the twin's shoulder, driving him into the floor as if he was a nail. The twin can't even speak due to the pain. Ryan Hui tells him to listen well and glares down at the twin, saying that he needs to clean this mess up now. The twin says that he cannot move his body at all and that he is pushing on a pressure point. The other twin looks around, worried, and asks if everybody else is just planning to watch. Everybody quickly gets up and starts to walk towards Ryan Hui. Sol tells him to stop. Ryan Hui repeats himself, saying to clean this shit up. The twin goes to backtalk him, and Ryan Hui presses more on his shoulder. A man quickly yells for them to stop as he brought in the Angry Bird squad. He asks what is going on, and the twins are both surprised. The man repeats himself, asking what is going on. One of the twins says that the newbies were sitting in his seat, so he was teaching them a lesson. The man glares at the twin, which causes him to stutter in fear. He calls them idiots, saying that they tried to teach a lesson yet got embarrassed, and that it's quite a funny scene. He tells Ryan Hui that his friend seems to have made a mistake, and Ryan Hui sighs. The man continues, saying he apologized in his stead, so he can stop now. The Angry Bird gets mad at how Ryan Hui ignored him, and the man asks if his apology is not enough. They have an intense WWE stare down, and Ryan Hui says that he only needs his shoe cleaned. He does not need an apology. The man smirks at him and then sighs, and turns towards the other twin who is clearly afraid of him. He glares at the twin, understands that this was his life's calling, and begins to wipe Ryan Hui's shoe. Ryan Hui lifts his foot off the twin, and tells Sol that it's time to go. The man asks him what his name is, and Ryan Hui tells him. The man then introduces himself as Yo Yak, and he says that he will see Ryan Hui later. The Angry Birds are mad that he ignored him. Sol recognizes Yak, saying that he is from the Blood Lightning Yo clan, one of the 4 great heavenly clans inside of the demonic cults and a bunch of other stuff that I am not reading. She says that he has a lot of pull in this academy, and it's not wise to make an enemy out of him. Yak says that Ryan Hui is going to make things interesting here, and then he turns back towards the twins. They try to come up with an excuse, but he quickly changes his facial expression, telling them to follow him. Later on, we see Pear telling everybody to go to their rooms. Sol says that she's surprised by how nice their room is and starts running around. Ryan Hui says that she will make a good servant, and she quickly thanks him for what he did at the restaurant, saying that she is touched. He tells her that he just didn't like them, and she says that it won't kill him to be honest. Then he tells her that he has a few rules since they are sharing a room. She quickly bows, saying that she will follow whatever he says. He tells her that he is first in bathing, and in the bathroom, and she says, of course. He is still confused on why she's so obedient, but continues, saying that he is going to occasionally leave at night. She says that she understands, and she will cover for him when they do the check-in. He looks out the window to see dark wind, saying that she's quick to catch on and that he's actually leaving tonight, and then he leaps out the window, leaving her surprised that he's going so early. Some time later, we see Huanya telling Ryan Hui about the 5 lightning sects and that they raided their main base, leaving them pissed. Ryan Hui says he has never heard of them before. Huanya says that he thinks they will need to get in touch with the moon wave to get more information. Ryan Hui glances over, asking if he knows where the meeting location will be. Huanya says yes, and he will guide him. Back in the city, at the House of 10,000 Books, it is the Murim version of Books a Million. They head inside. Dalki says this does not smell like food. Huanya flames him, calling him fat. Someone says that some people call books the food of the mind, and maybe some people enjoy eating them. He glances over towards Ryan Hui, saying it does not seem like he is here to read the books. Ryan Hui says that he is correct, as they are here for intel. The man introduces himself as Seo Pyung, and he says he would like to tell them this beforehand, that he will decide the price of the information. Ryan Hui says he would like to go straight to negotiating. Pyung quickly asks him what he wants to know. Ryan Hui says that he wants information on the 5 lightning sects. Pyung starts to flip through his book and pulls out a piece of paper, handing it to Ryan Hui, saying that it will be 500 nyong. Huanya is surprised that it is so expensive for one piece of paper. Pyung says that he should not consider it expensive, and Ryan Hui tells him that it can't be that good of information if he already had it written down, and what he wants to know is the truth behind the sect, as he is sure that he knows more. Pyung quickly changes his demeanor, saying that he thought he would be an easy customer, and does the hentai protagonist glasses thing, saying that it will be 3,000 yong. Ryan Hui asks him if he will take other objects instead of cash and pulls out a green gem. Pyung is completely taken aback, and Ryan Hui tells him that it is worth way more than 3,000 yong. Pyung says he believes it, as it is the highest quality of luminous pearl he has ever seen. Ryan Hui says to think of it as a payment for future information as well, and to give him his information now. Pyung happily starts to write down his information and then hands it to him. All it says is 5 poison demon. Hwanya gets pissed, asking if these 3 words are really how much 3,000 yong got. Pyung tells him to look at the paper he gave them earlier. Hwanya says that the 5 poison demon is not mentioned here, and that the head of the 5 lightning sect is the grief spear, Mok Jung. Ryan Hui tells him that it is false. Pyung says exactly. Ryan Hui quickly understands that the 5 poison demon is the true head, asking if there is more information. Pyung glances over, saying that it takes time and especially money. Ryan Hui says he will buy the information, so look into it. Back at the academy, Ryan Hui leaps up to his window. Ryan Hui is surprised as he sees Sol sleeping as well as something in his bed. He walks over to it and pulls the sheets off and is relieved to see that she put a straw dummy in his stead. He turns to glance at her, saying that was quite well done. The next day, we see a ton of food laid out on the table, as it is the entrance ceremony for the Illusion Academy. Pear looks around, wondering where someone is, saying that it's almost time. We see Sol and Ryan Hui in line, and she asks what kind of school demands their students to prepare food for their seniors. Then she starts to describe the ranks of the students. There is the Heavenly Squad for demonic cult members, the Earth Squad, and then finally the Human Squad. She asks why everybody is separated into ranks, and that it is clear discrimination for those of the Orthodox faction, which goes against the motto of this academy. Ryan Hui tells her that it's actually better than it used to be, and the successor of the demonic cult had a great attachment to this academy. There was no way she could have entered before since she's not from the demonic cult, but now she can enter at least the Earth Squad because she's proven herself. Something catches her attention as we hear a man yelling, welcoming everybody to the academy. He introduces himself as Dan Nobik, the vice dean of the academy. His voice shakes the school itself, and they look around confused. Pear facepalms, saying not this again. The drums start to beat, and we see them on the rooftop as fireworks fly off. Nobik soars through the air, landing in front of his seat as people from behind the chair throw flower petals over the top. Sol is grossed out, asking what the hell is going on, and Ryan Hui glances over, saying that he recognizes him as the one-armed whirlwind. If you've watched till the end, comment, Tree, to let me know. Subscribe for more videos like this, leave a like or a comment to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.